So the first thing that we're going to look at is how to add a new room type. We have a couple of steps that we recommend, especially when you're working with any third-party vendors outside of Roomkey. So you're going to actually start with any third-party vendors first. Their platform is step number one. You're going to add the new room type and code and description, any policy information directly to your GDS and RMS portals. So you need to do that step first on the third-party portal. You may have to do that across a couple of portals first. So if you do have a GDS channel manager and you also have a revenue management system like Duetto or Ideas, you'll want to add the new room type to both of those platforms first. Step number two is to now add the new room type and use the rate wizard in Roomkey to add rate pricing. So step number two, I have a little video here that's going to take you through those steps and demonstrate how to do that in Roomkey. So from Roomkey, you're going to start from the system configuration menu and go directly to room inventory. It's going to open up the room inventory module on screen where it shows a list of all of the different room types, room codes, and descriptions. On the right-hand side, you can click Add, and you can add a new room type. In this example, I have a room type code PH. I have a maximum occupancy of 6 persons. The short type description is penthouse, and I have a full description of the room. And I've also added the sort order. This is going to be sort order number 6, and you just click OK on the right-hand side. Once you do that, you will now see the new room type added here in the list of active room types. Now, the next thing that I need to do is add this room type to rate plans. So I'm going to exit out and go back to system configuration. This time I'll select Rate Wizard. I'm going to start with the best available rate and click the Edit button, the pen and paper symbol in the bottom left corner. Here you'll notice that the distribution channels have an asterisk next to them. If you click the More Details button, that will show you that you've added that new penthouse room type, and we need to make sure that this room type is now available for each of those distribution channels. Once you do that, you just click the Update button. Now I need to add pricing. So then price for the penthouse room type, I click the Next button in the bottom right corner. In this rate grid, you will now see the new room type appear in the rate grid. And if I look at the rate calendar down below, I'll just make sure I'm looking at the penthouse room type, you'll see that our rate calendar shows that I have no rates set up. So I need to make sure that I'm loading a rate price for this new room type for the best available rate. Now, I only want to add a pricing for the penthouse, so I'm going to click lock the grid and remove the check marks from the other room types. So I'm only going to be changing pricing for the penthouse room type. Now, if your property does use this rate grid for incremental rate increases, you can add those increments and click Update Rate Template. I'm going to use the base rate row at the top here just to add in my base rate, which was 250. And you'll notice that it adds that extra increment for my penthouse room type, bringing it up to 500. Next, I'll use the date from and date to select the date range that I want to apply this pricing through to the end of 2025, and I'll click Update Rate Amounts. Now I can click the Save button. Roomkey is going to confirm that I want to update the rate amounts, and it's also going to confirm that I want to update that tiered rates. I clicked yes in both of those cases, and now when I look at the rate calendar down below, I can see for my penthouse room type, I now have those prices loaded throughout the next several months through the end of the year. Once you've added that pricing, you can return to the main page here. The last thing to do is check that this pricing now appears. So I'm just going to do a simple reservation. I'm just going to click New Res, and let me just bring this into view here. You should now see the penthouse or the new room type available, and you should now see that best available rate populating for that new room type. Now, the one thing that I did not show there, I just showed that setup for the best available rate plan, but you will need to repeat that process in the rate wizard for each rate plan that applies to that new room type. So You'll just repeat those steps in the rate wizard, making sure that you add the new room type to the distribution channel and add the new room type pricing for each new rate. Once you have set up that information in Roomkey, step number two is to complete the mapping in Roomkey. We do have a full webinar presentation that talks about how to do third-party rate mapping, depending on the type of third-party vendor that you're connecting to, whether you're connecting to something like SiteMinder or a channel manager using GDS linking, or if you're using one of our enhanced integrations with TravelClick, iHotelier, or Synexis. Or we do also have the option, if you're not comfortable doing your own rate mapping quite yet, you can contact our support team. We can do that rate mapping for you.